Writing Unit 7, Lesson 3. I can use the list, jot, write, long strategy to revisit first and last time events from my life. First, you're going to reread all your entries. Where are the entries about first time events from your life? Where are entries about the last time events from your life? So, you're going to jot and create a list about those first and last time events. And then write long. What happened to make these first and last times life-changing patterns in your life? Describe and include the important parts of each in your write long. So you're going to create a chart just like I did. On the left, you're going to put first time events, and on the right, you're going to put the last time events. So here are some examples that I did. Got contact lenses. As you know, I wear glasses, so I guess you can guess how that went. My first IU basketball game, the first weekend at Indiana University and meeting Brooke when her door slammed like every 5 seconds. Quite annoying. My first day of 6th grade at Portage Middle School, holding a tennis racket. It was bigger than I was. Last time events, when my middle school volleyball team in 1997 won the city tournament. In 2002, winning the Sportsmanship Award for tennis for the whole city of Fort Wayne. Seeing my grandfather or speaking to him for the last time before he passed away. Indiana University basketball beating the number 1 team Kentucky at Indiana in Assembly Hall a few years ago. Watching it on TV, of course. Last time I went to that dentist when I was a child. The last time I climbed out of my crib because of something my sister did. The last night with Isaiah, our family cat that I was growing up with. And the last time I rode June, my favorite pony, at the zoo. So I'm going to choose one of these events and write long about it. Write long, the last time I saw Grandpa. At the end of July 2015, I was visiting my family in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I had driven 10 hours to get home in time to go and see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the Civic Theater. Since I got home 3.5 hours early, my mother had exaggerated what time I had to be in Indiana to make the musical. I drove immediately to Grandma and Grandpa Dre's house. When I rang the doorbell, Grandpa came to the door. I could hear his repeated bop, bop, bop sound that he always made as he walked around the house through the screen. When he answered the door, he greeted me as Libby. Libby's my older sister, who was also visiting our family from New York at the same time. Grandpa, it's me, Emily, I said. Grandpa was so excited that I had made it home and came straight to see him. We went and sat on the same couch and love seat my grandparents had had since moving into the little blue house. Even though Grandpa had very long legs, he liked to sit on the smaller love seat rather than the long couch. Such a creature of habit. Grandpa asked, "When is our date to Bob's?" Bob Evans was our favorite restaurant to go to every time I visited. While I was in high school, Grandpa and I would go there at least once a week when I got out of school early so I could work during the day and make practice at 3. The days I didn't have to work, we'd make a date to eat at Bob's. He also liked to embarrass me while there. He talked to all the people around us. One time, he tried to sign me up for the military. Apparently, he couldn't wait to get rid of me. We scheduled our brunch to Bob's for the next day since I hadn't had Bob's since last summer. I'd have eaten there every day if my family hadn't made other arrangements for our other meals. Grandpa then began asking the usual questions. Are you eating right? Did you watch any of the tennis? How is your team doing? When he asked the last question, I knew he'd gotten me confused with Libby again. I answered the previous 2 questions with, yes, I'm eating just like I always have. Of course I'm watching Rafa. Every time he's playing, John and I are watching. I decided not to correct Grandpa about confusing me with Libby, because the doctor had last mentioned to my mom not to correct him. When he's corrected repeatedly, it stresses and upsets him. I didn't want to upset Grandpa and remind him that he didn't remember who I was. Libby and I do look alike. Of course, at the moment that I had decided not to remind Grandpa who I am, my grandma walked in. Her first response was, June, that's Emily, not Libby. Grandma did not follow the doctor's orders about not correcting him. I gave Grandma the look that said, don't do that. She ignored me and continued to correct Grandpa. So this is not finished. My write long is incomplete. However, I have a lot of detail of what I remember when I first saw Grandpa again. in 2015. So now I want you to jot your lists of firsts and lasts and then choose one to write long about. Good luck!